Hi everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. I am Fariba, and we're gonna watch Andor. That is the new Star Wars series that has now come out today. I know that so far in the last few Star Wars outings, they haven't been the greatest, especially with Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, just because a lot of it just has to deal with the fact that the stories have been, out of pace, or the story hasn't been the most glamorous. But with Andor coming out, this is essentially the prequel to Rogue One, of course. And as we all know in the Star Wars fandom, that Rogue One is kind of that one child out there that actually happens to be pretty good. Just the one outlier of like everything else that's been out so far that's been super, super great. I mean, I remember when Rogue One came out, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love kind of how it fit in with the actual Star Wars lore and kind of filled in a lot of the gaps of what we had already known about Star Wars at that time. So, considering that we have Andor coming out and there's already been a lot of great phrases for it, like I'm expecting kind of a similar redemption kind of series in terms of the actual Disney Plus side of the Star Wars universe. So yeah, no, I'm very excited to kind of watch the series. Today we have 3 episodes, so it's going to be quite a journey. What I'll do for this whole set of videos is I'll watch each video, give my commentary after ending off an episode, and then following up with a couple more episodes later on. And as you can probably tell, my camera's a bit different today, and that's because the camcorder I usually use is unfortunately its charger kind of is malfunctioning, so I am using my Canon camera, which may come out a little blurry, which I do apologize for. I am trying my best to kind of fix this, but I haven't been really successful at it. But the show must go on, right? So without ado, let's watch the first episode of Andor.
From Canary, nostalgic, are we? Let me go and check on that for you.
This is something amusing. Why? You keep looking over it like there's something funny.
Definitely not.
What does that mean? Oh, that is a hard look for a little thing like you.
He's not laughing now, is he?
There was a girl from Canary, but she left several months ago. We do have a lovely lady here tonight from Tahina, who's got those big dark eyes you're looking for.
This girl from Canary. Any idea where she went?
What are you? Seriously? Boyfriend, husband?
I'm looking for my sister.
Well, whoever she is, she's not here. She disappeared. People come and go.
I got 300 credits in my coat pocket.
Wow. What are the chances on that? That is almost exactly what it costs to cover the fine, the towing charge, and our personal processing fee.
Everybody's lucky now.
What's up, look at it?
I'm not moving. You wanted, you take it, and I walk away. I don't need any surprises.
Get him up! Get him up! Move! She's not breathing. He fell. We had a misunderstanding. I'll hold it together. We played too hard with him and you didn't understand him. He tried to grab you and he fell and he hit his head. We're going together. I'll tell you what happened.
Oh, okay. Oh, no one can be trusted. No one can be trusted. Good judgment. Oh.
Carlos was out. Then you remembered you still had half a bottle of Nog stashed at home. So we went there and drank ourselves to sleep. Please. I really need this.
You insulted my choice of beverage. As host and provider, I was offended by this. You failed to gauge the depth of my irritation. You rose to make your point more vocally. I was
That's what I like to describe as regrettable misadventure.
Sir.
Two dedicated Primor employees caught in the sad orbit of heroic calamity.
Don't understand.
I want you to conjure a suitable accident. And let's make sure it's on the far side of the plaza. Let's get it outside the leisure zone.
But they were murdered.
No, they were killed in a fight. They're in a brothel, which we're not supposed to have, the expensive one, which they shouldn't be able to afford, a drinking river dog, which we're not supposed to allow. Both of them supposedly on the job, which is a dismissible offence. They clearly harassed a human with dark features and chose the wrong person to annoy. I suspect they died rushing to aid someone in distress. Nothing too heroic, we don't need a parade.
What?
Your friend.
What friend?
The one who buys your secret friend. How fast now, you Richard?
What happened to you?
I fell.
On what? A jealous husband?
I have something to sell.
Don't we all?
How soon could it be here?
Spinning your...
Your friend will want this space. He'll come for this. He said he wanted to meet me.
So what is it? What is it?
Is that friend by any chance Saw Girl?
I got an untraceable witness 9 Starpath unit. Vector crystals and Imperial seal still intact.
How long have you had that?
I need to move it, Vix.
You've been hiding it.
I've been saving
I'm
it.
guessing it comes from one of my bits.
Yes, again.
Not your best move, Cassian.
Are you?
What?
It looks like it's turned into something more than work.
Do I ask about your personal life?
Just promise he knows nothing about any of this.
He'd do anything for me.
No. That wasn't my question.
No. He knows nothing.
Micaela, odejdę się z ciemno.
So this guy is just being the nosy guy, huh? So he's being nosy. Nosy pants.
Forward. Forward. Wait. Go back. Go back. That.
Why is that? Easy. You know the trumpet.
I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that our corporate borders are unprotected or your complacence about it. Find it. Whatever it is, I want to know what it left.
Nosy
You'd
pants.
have to filter the entire night.
Oh, it's too much for you, let me know. Sure, somebody wants the chair.
Timmy, you're not for lunch. No, I'm late.
Oh, I know. I want my deposit back.
I
Oh,
wish I could, but it's in play. Just waiting to hear they're on site, okay?
oh, more debts.
Debts?
That's everywhere.
Seriously?
I'm not one of these losers going to let you float until they forget how much you owe them.
You're here with him.
That's your pre-focus time.
That's his problem.
What is that blue spaghetti?
I'll be his name on the time scan.
Ferrex.
Yes, sir. We've been working it.
Canary human males on Ferrex.
I'm afraid that's a blank, sir.
What?
We have got imperial census.
How old is it?
This is 6 years ago.
That's an eternity.
There's not a lot about Canary, sir. It's fairly obscure.
That should make it easier. We'll have to put the word out.
Well, very.
Nosy
Where else would we
pants.
put it?
We don't have presence there, sir.
Is it not under our jurisdiction?
Technically,
We are simply asking for information.
Have you ever been there?
What difference does that make?
They have their own way of doing things.
This is the murder of 2 Pre-war employees!
Nosy pants.
Canary human men wanted for questioning. Slam the channels, flood it. Set up a desk here to monitor anything that comes in.
Yeah, he's in the office. We filled it, just like you told me. Now, I'm almost done. What is that? Is that the ID chip lock? It's the old one. Just putting a blank in right now. Again tomorrow. I wouldn't do that if I was you. Close this out. Don't come back.
Come on, Pegla.
No. We're done. No more favors, no more deals. Listen, don't. I don't want to know what you're doing or why or when you took this thing last night or any of it. Finish up. Get out. Don't come back.
The first episode of Andor, and just right off the bat, you can tell how this series is very, very different from some of the other shows that we've seen so far with the Disney, Star Wars saga, right? One of the things I actually appreciate about this episode is that it's not more so about the action that's like the main part of the series, but more so just kind of like the dialogue and just trying to set the tone up what the show is going to be, right? And one of the things that really fascinated me, just watching kind of everything that's unfolding, is the fact that the Cassian Andor that we meet in this series is far different from the one that we seen in Rogue One, right? The person that we saw in Rogue One was a very restrained, very obedient, combative, type of officer who was working for the Alliance. Whereas in this case, we're seeing a bit more of a not like a rogue, but like more so a troublemaker in a sense, where he has debts, he is asking people for favors, he is compiling all this, debt that he, can't really repay, and then we just see him kind of murder 2 people out of nowhere. This is definitely a different vibe of Cassian that we never really seen before, which is really, really again, it just kind of blows your mind a little bit, because then it's just like, wow, this is going to be an interesting way of just seeing how he evolves from this type of, scoundrel. So there you go, the scoundrel, rascal type of person, right, to becoming a bit more of a respected officer later on that we'll see from Rogue One. So that's gonna be a very fascinating way of as how they're going to kind of show his development moving forward, as see more and more of his origins. We're already seeing kind of a speck of just his background, in a sense, going back to flashbacks of when he was a child. One of the things that really kind of took me got my attention was essentially the fact that this seems to be a story about him finding his sister, which seems like, okay, this is something that we never really heard of Cassian. And again, this wasn't a focus for Rogue One, but it makes sense for here because this is a series focused on Andor, right? So it seems like this is going to be kind of his arc, trying to find his sister. That's going to be his motivation going on, moving forward. And already, again, like, this is a very dialogue-heavy episode, which I think is very, very necessary just to kind of give us an idea of what we're dealing with, the supporting characters, who they are. Even the ones that aren't really, haven't really met Cassian yet, we're assuming they're going to somehow be a big part of it. We've seen his good friend. Definitely a lot of things going on, I think, in terms of just this first episode. Yes, it is a very slow episode where there isn't really much going on, but it does, in a sense, really work. It's very effective because all that dialogue is setting up the exposition of everything that we need to know and setting up just kind of the main arching storyline that we need to, build up until the finale. And I feel like in this case, like, I appreciate that having this dialogue is just something that's giving us a feel of who the characters are. Especially in Cassian's case, again, this is his story, right? A story that we've never seen before from him. And I think even just from the tone itself, it's already different, right? The music is a bit more solemn. It's a bit, not dramatic, but it's a bit more eerie in a sense, because again, there's like a lot of mystery going on in terms of just what's going on with this universe, this era of the Star Wars lore. But yeah, no, I think this is a really good start to the first episode. And again, like, I think just from right off the bat, you can tell that this is going to be a series that is very focused on its story and not so much the fan service, which was the big problem with, of course, with Boba Fett, because we literally had like a whole episode that literally didn't even have Boba Fett. And I think even in that sense, the same issue with Obi-Wan Kenobi, where the story was just really disjointed and pacing was really off, and even like being really repetitive. And then even in Obi-Wan, like, it felt like that should have been a movie more so than a series, because a lot of the episodes did feel like fill-in episodes, filler episodes. So here it's like we're kind of getting a bit more of a cohesive story, or at least that's what I got from the first episode. So yeah, I'm super excited to see how they kind of move forward with this, what we're going to learn more so in the second and third episode. So yeah, that will be it for my commentary on the first episode. What do you think? Did you enjoy kind of the different atmosphere that we got from Andor episode 1? Are there things that kind of shocked you a little bit about who Cassian is? Like the way I was learning that he's a bit more of a scoundrel in a sense, who, has debts and not the respected officer that we learned, from Rogue One. Who are your favorite characters so far, if you already have any? And what do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe.